Alright folks, my name is Freyn and today we're going to be taking a look at even more new features from ARK Survival Ascended. Now these are mostly small quality of life features, but they are all, at least to my knowledge, new and hopefully will be of some use to you. For now, let's dive right in with number 1, the meat spoiler. We're out in the world, we've got a fresh kill and a nice pile of meat from it. I'd love to turn it into narcotics, but first we have to spoil it. Now usually we split it all down into single pieces. While this will speed up the overall stack, it's still going to take some time, and in the meantime our inventory's a mess. But there's now a solution for this, and that solution is over here, in the shape of a toilet. First, put our meat in. Nothing happened so far, but if we shut the door, have a seat and do some business, well, instantly spoiled, the whole lot. Yes, as long as there is feces in the toilet, any meat you put in there will be instantly spoiled. Now later on, when you've got feeding troughs spoiling meat by the thousand, this won't be super useful, but early on I know a lot of people who are going to be very happy with this. Now we've got our narcotics though, let's go make some med brews. Simple enough. Let's stick our ingredients in, get some fuel, and light the fire. Here we can see the first of our cooking pot improvements. There is now a fuel timer, so we know exactly how long we're going to get out of this. Do we need to put any more fuel in? But oh no, it's made some dye. That's not what we wanted. Baha! We can turn off autocraft, and now it won't make anything without us telling it to, just like every other bench. So let's put some more water in, and we'll make that med brew, which is also now listed in the cooking pot. All recipes are now in there. That's kibble, soups, brews, dyes, whatever you want, it's all listed. A small but incredibly helpful change so you can spend less time on the wiki and more time cooking. Moving on to number 3, we have crafting tracking. Let's say we're looking for a new tame. There's an iguanodon, that'll do, but that'd be much easier to knock out if we had some bolas first. Well, I know I've got no ingredients with me, so let's right-click that and track it. And now I can see exactly what's needed and how many I can make with what I'm currently carrying. Again, a small quality of life change, but one that will be incredibly helpful, especially for beginners. Now, I do wish they'd taken this a step further and added a hotkey to instantly craft whatever you're tracking, but as I believe you can actually track multiple items at the same time, that would probably start to get a bit messy. Now though, we just need a bit of a hide, so one quick dodo harvest later, and I'll be ready for my bolas. There we are, I can make 2! Excellent! Now I could craft this from my hotbar because I've already had them before, but I'd like 2 please, so we'll make them there. And let's get ready to get this iguanodon. And here we can see another new improvement, the BOLA indicator. Here you can see when I aim at the iguanodon with a BOLA in my hand, the crosshair turns green and there's a little tick to show that it can currently be bolaed. So let's whip that up, get it snagged, and now it turns yellow to show that it's not ready to be bolaed right now. A red indicator would show the creature can't be bolaed at all. Now though, if we're going to knock out this iguanodon, we will need to change ammo. So let's hold R and bring up the new ammo changing wheel. Yes, previously you would have to bring up your inventory and drag the ammo onto the weapon, but now there's a handy wheel for it. Not only that, but if you've got the materials for it, you can also craft more of whichever ammo type you're currently using, or even swap between any weapon attachments that are in your inventory. Ah, there we go, perfect timing, the iguanodon's down. Let's get that tamed up, and we'll start heading home. Now, while we're riding a dino, let me show you another new feature, the adjustable zoom. Yes, it may not be a big feature, but by holding down Alt, you get a little scroll bar like this to choose exactly where you want your camera. Personally, I prefer the mid-range a bit more. Nice field of view, but not feeling too distant from my creature. Oh, damn, some dastardly git has knocked me out. Oh, this isn't gonna go well, is it? Alright, where am I? Oh no, this isn't good. Oh, damn, that freakish giant's taken me prisoner. Well, not to worry, thanks to another new feature of forced respawn, we can get out of this, yes? All we have to do is press escape, and there we are, respawn. Haha, no hostage for you. But this isn't the only way to force yourself to respawn either. Whether you've been taken hostage or just got stuck in rocks, if you can access your inventory, hover over the specimen implant for 5 seconds, and then right click, select the new respawn option, and you'll be free from whatever mess you've managed to get into. No more having to waste organic polymer, and no more eating poo. Now though, I think it's better we relocate. So, let's start gathering some materials and we'll build ourselves a nice little base in the snow. Somewhere where we're less likely to be attacked. Bit more secure. There we are, some stone. Let's get some wood. Oh, damn, I'm overweight. Not to worry though, because I've got my otter with me, and by holding down R, I can bring up the new shoulder pad access and move over some of that weight. This was always a feature on the Sonoma crops, but now in ARK Ascended it is on all shoulder pets, and it's a really big help. But now it's time to start building, and there's a whole string of new features here. The first isn't specifically for building, but it's very helpful in this situation. By holding Q, your hotbar will change into an inventory bar. Every single thing in your inventory is listed on this, and you can scroll through the pages using 9 and 0. Whether you need a tool or consumable that's not normally on your bar, or like me, you want to do some building and don't want to have to keep opening your inventory to get another piece, this is a nice convenient way to access it all. And now that we've got those at the ready, let's have a look at the first of many new building features, the foundation adjustment. If we click and drag, we can lower or raise the foundations. We can turn it by going side to side, and if we press E, we can unlock the camera to allow us a slightly different view, or press Q to lock the height where we want it. So that looks good. Let's start placing our foundations and see another new feature in snow coverage. Yes, buildings built in the snow biome now get covered in snow. It's only a small aesthetic thing. It's not really going to have any big gameplay impact except for maybe making your base slightly harder to spot. But for me, I love it. What I don't love though is seeing all of that health and ownership information whenever I look at a structure. I never liked that in Survival Evolved, and I don't like it here. But fortunately, we can now solve that as well. If we just bring up our settings menu for a second and go to UI, we can see structure tooltip settings, where we can either turn it off completely or leave it on action only for things like press E to sit on chair. And if you'd like, this can be applied to dinos, players, or dropped items too. But for now, I think we'll leave it at that. Let's have a look. Much better. There we go. Now, let's do some more building. If you've played the game, of course, you'll have already seen this. But for those who haven't, this is the new building system. First, we select our wall piece. But hang on, it seems to be a door. That's because we can now cycle through different shapes by pressing R. Stone doorway, double doorway, window, secret door, or just your basic wall. Let's go with that. Now let's start filling out our building, shall we? Let's have some more walls. Let's go with a secret doorway in the corner for escape options. Well, now we need some doors and windows. Now, this is all one piece. It can go in either, so that's a door, that's a window. We use the same piece for both, but for now, we'll make it a door. The arrows you can see point to where the hinges are, so we can flip it around and have the hinge on the other side if we'd like, but also, once we have put it down, we can now choose which way the door opens. Do we want it to go in or out? Or do we want it to always go one way? Well, I'd prefer it to always go out. Safer in emergencies, you know? But we can also do the same with windows, obviously. We can have the hinge at the top if we'd like. We can have the hinge on the left. Hell, if we want, we can even make the hinge go on the bottom. I don't know why you would want to, but there we are. Again, small changes, but if you're trying to build an aesthetically pleasing base, it could be a big difference. Alright, let's start putting down some benches. Let's start with a grill. It's a very nice looking grill, the new one, but it'll only snap in the middle here, and I want it in that corner. So, we hold Q and shift to the new snapping options. Now this first one is full alignment mode, and my favourite. You can see wherever we put it, it will try and align itself to the wall. It's fantastic. We also have partial alignment mode, where it won't go through the wall, it will try and keep that edge against it. Or we have the complete free placement, which isn't really very helpful here because there's a wall in the way. So we'll put it there. Wonderful. And now we just need to do the same with the fabricator and the chemistry bench. There we go. Done. Well, now we've got all these benches in, we need power. So, let's put down a generator. There we are, in the corner. We'll add some fuel. Turn it on. Now first, as you can see, fuel gauge again, just like with the fires. This is 19 hours, so 1 hour per piece of gasoline on our current settings. But you may have also noticed that light turned on all on its own. We don't have any cabling down, no outlets. In fact, those things are completely gone. Utilities are now wireless. That's electric and water, completely wireless. You just need the source. That's a generator or a water intake in a river. That's all you need. No more annoying sparks or grey wires going everywhere from your outlets. It's just simply wireless. That will power our base without any further building required. And not only that, but we get a nice 2-for-1 feature here as well, as all of these benches that used to require gasoline to run can now alternatively be powered by the generator. It's such a major quality of life change. Our grill, our fabricator, the chemistry bench that used to require both to power, or even the forge outside, they all now run on electricity. All we have to do is put down one generator in the base, turn it on, and our entire base is powered. Pipes, cables, all gone. They're no longer even a structure you can build. It's all wireless utilities. No more do you need to worry about draining all of your fuel overnight by accidentally leaving your fabricator on. It is so nice. The combination of these two quality of life changes is absolutely massive. I obviously wouldn't still recommend leaving your fabricator on because it is still loud as heck, but it is such a nice change. Well, that's the inside of our base done, but we still need some defenses in case that giant freak from earlier comes back and tries again. So let's get down some turrets. I'd like to put them quite high up, I think. No hatch frames required though, because now we have some new turret placement options. They can now go on walls, pillars, I think even on the underside of ceilings, although you'll probably have to turn off snapping in order to get them into certain spots. But that's a nice big field of fire for us there, really good defense. Although it's pretty ugly to be honest, not very inconspicuous, so I think let's take that down. And that's another new feature right there. If you pick up a structure, anything that is depending on it for support will also be picked up at the same time. No longer if you pick up the wrong thing do you have to worry about it all coming down around your ears. It'll still disappear, but it goes back into your inventory instead of turning into a pile of rubble. Again, such a massive, massive quality of life change right there. Now, there's only 2 left on our list of new features today. I'm sure most of you know what this item is, the TEK dedicated storage. Obviously, that isn't new, but there is a new feature for it. If we go over to our smithy here, let's say I want to make some flak armor. So we go to armor, we go to metal, and now look, we can see hide 0 in the bench, and then in brackets 262. And that is new wireless access to the dedicated storage. And obviously this allows us to craft the items, pulling the resources from those storage boxes. There is actually an option on the radio wheel saying prevent wireless crafting, but it doesn't actually seem to turn this feature off. So I'm not sure if that's simply not working or if that's for something else entirely. Now if you know what this is for, please let me know in the comments. But for now, let's move on to our very last one, the TEK binoculars. These were an item that actually existed in Survival Evolved's files. I believe it was very briefly in one of the Genesis DLCs before getting pulled out. But here it is in as a fully fledged item, complete with full stat reading, color regions, mutation count, and the ability to tag and track your target. Now obviously this is a very late game item, so I imagine it probably won't come into play for many people, but I know how much everybody loves those super spyglass type mods, and this is now something built straight into the game. But with that, we come to the end. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope this has been helpful to you. If it has, do please consider subscribing, as it all helps the channel. And let me know in the comments, what's your favourite new feature? And are there any you know of that I've missed? I'm sure there must be some. The game's not even been out a week yet. We can't have found everything. But that's all for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.